Barbara and Walter borrowed $215,000. Wow, what? So this problem's got a lot to it. So take a second, read through it. I want you to think about what we need to find, because that's going to dictate what formulas we use and in what order. So what do you think we need for part A? And in fact, we needed it a couple times, because we needed first to figure out what they were paying on their old loan, and then we're going to need it how much they were paying on their refinance loan. However, there's something in the middle that we need. What other formula do we need? So they're refinancing after 8 years, so we need to figure out how much was left on the principal or the balance of the loan after that time. So that's the amount owed on a loan. So hopefully there's enough space under Part A to do this problem, is what I'm getting at. So let's first figure out their current mortgage payment for their original 30-year loan, which carries a ridiculous, but at that time, reasonable interest rate, unfortunately. So here we go. So this is for the first 30-year loan. So we're going to do PMT is equal to, the loan amount is $215,000. The interest rate at this time was 0.0745 monthly. And this was for 30 years. Please make sure you get 1495.96. Oh my gosh. 1495.96. So now we're going to go back to the amount owed on a mortgage to figure out how much is left in the balance after 8 years of paying $1495.96 a month. So that's that wonderfully beautiful formula that everyone loved. It was the beginning of this section. It should be the first formula you have in 1.3. I'm not going to have enough room to write out the formula without the numbers. I'm just going to go right to the numbers. So the first part of it is the A times 1 plus R over N to the NT. RA is the original loan amount, $215,000, times 1 plus 0.0745 over 12, raised to the 12 times 8. Remember that T in this formula is the number of years that you've paid for. And then minus this wonderful fraction. It's the payment, $1495.96. Two sets of parentheses, 1 plus R over N. Raised to the NT, so again 12 times 8. Minus 1 over R over N. There we go. Little kitten for everyone. Oh, that's cute. That's nice. Remember, hug a kitten if you need to. If you're allergic to cats, more will be provided for you. Now, thought process. This number has to be less than 210 because that was the original loan amount and they've already started to pay on it. But the bad news is, once you get this number, you'll be like, oh, that's terrible, because it's not that much less than, I'm sorry, not 210, 215, because your first several payments, and by several I mean the first half of the payments you make on any type of problem like this, the majority of the money goes towards interest. So they didn't really pay down the principal all that much. I have 193, 930, and again, mine rounded, so what did you get? 193, 930. Mike, we're just going to wait for you to write it on the board. I don't want to practice it right now. All right, so we're not even done with part A. Oh my gosh. But let's discuss what happened. We needed to figure out how much they paid so far and how much they have left to go. That's the 193, 933, 35. But in order to use this formula, we needed to figure out how much their payment was. That's why we have the one in green first. So now, to figure out the rest of part A, we're going to do amortization yet again, where this is the PV amount. But notice the changes, it's now going to be a 15-year loan at 3.45%. Is everyone ready? All right. Just in case, let's do this real quick. Duplicate. Okay, now we have 2 cats, just in case you need another cat. Good. All right. I am going to shrink all this because you have to go up here, Mr. Cat. There you go. Stay. I don't know why I just told the cat to stay. They don't actually listen. So now let's do the 15-year loan. So again, this is another amortization. So PMT is equal to, the PV is this 193 number. R over N, our new R is 0.0345 over 12 over 1 minus parentheses 1 plus R over N over 12 raised to the negative 12 times 15, because it's a 15-year loan now. Yes, I understand this is horrendous. I completely agree with you, but it is very probable that in your lifetime you will have to refinance your house. This is a good formula to know. You never want to walk into a bank or loan situation and not be prepared. Because guess what? Do they expect you to be prepared? Not at all.
Are they mad at you when you come there?
They don't like it. No, because I busted out my calculator when I got my last car. I'm like, oh, I should expect my payments to be this. And then they go back in the room and like, rah, 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 rah. And then you talk them down.
Yep.
That's what you do. I got 1381.64. So to finish part A, oh my gosh, this is what they were paying, $1495.96. This is what they're currently going to be able to pay, $1381.64. So how do we figure out how much they're saving a month? Subtract. Yeah, what do we get? 115? 114.32? A pair of shoes a month. A pair of shoes? Oh my gosh. That's a lot for a pair of shoes. Terrible. Now, if Barbara and Walter were smart, and we're not going to do this, but if Barbara and Walter were smart, what should they do with that 114.32? They can put it in savings, or they can say, I'm used to paying the $1495.96. I'm going to put it on the principal. They'll knock down their the amount of years. Now, we're not going to do that because that involves logarithms, because you have to solve for the t. And could you imagine taking this formula and solving for this guy here? Yeah, we're not doing that. So, ugh. All right, now let's do part B. How much interest was saved? All right. So if they continued paying the $1495.96 for the remainder of the 22 years, because that was the original 30-year loan, it'd be $1495.96, 12 times a year for 22 years. Again, the 22 is from, they already paid 8 years into 30 years. Minus, they're now going to pay $1381.64 12 times a year for 15 years. So if we subtract the two, this is how much interest they saved. $146,238.24. That's how much they saved by refinancing. Yep. This is also a real life example. This is what's been happening the past 5+ years. As soon as the market crashed and homeowners and interest rates dropped, people were like, I'll refinance now. Thank you very much.